Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back today for some more Alliance War. So I still haven't finished uploading the last season, the previous season, which we finished in Masters. But it was a bit of a rocky road to get there, especially at the start. I believe this is war number 6 or 7, so we're only halfway there. But it's kind of a good thing because we're in a 4-week off season right now, which is usually only 2 weeks. So it's double the normal amount of time. So at least I'll be able to give you guys some Alliance War content. While the season is not going. So yeah, up first here we're facing CNR, the Alliance CNR, and we're facing a Tigra on the first fight here. This was like almost a month ago, so I don't exactly remember all these wars. But once we get into them, it'll start coming back to me. So this fight is always a little bit interesting. It's not the hardest. You just got to be careful because she goes unblockable whenever she has a regeneration effect, which is it regen or armor, but it triggers on arc overload. So yeah, I think it's vigorous assault. So yeah, as soon as she gets that regen, she goes unblockable. So you really just got to keep your distance. Push her back by hitting into her block. Baiting her specials, intercepting, and the fight goes really well. We don't really take any damage, just a little bit of parry damage. So yeah, off to a great start. Always a good thing. And the next up here we have an OG Vision. Very weird to see this guy on defense, not the best defender. If I was a Corvus user, this like a 6-star Corvus user, this would have been 2 free charges. So yeah, right there, I parried, but the Masochism purified it, and then he went for a heavy, but or he attacked me, but our unstoppable buff kind of saved us. Wasn't expecting Masochism to trigger. Actually, I think I just forgot. Either I forgot about it, or I just thought a Magneto would turn it off. But we lost 2% health at the end of the day. Not the biggest deal in the world. And I'm just gonna go for an L2 to try to kill him. Doesn't quite kill him. I didn't have that many prowess, but I thought it maybe do the trick. I just didn't see the need to build to an L3. On this fight, L3 would be way overkill. Magneto can kill like an 800k vision in one L3, in the gauntlet. So this puny vision, is not needed to fully ramp up. So at this point in the war, it was nice because this season is when they took away links on shared fights. So people were able to clear the first section without me, and I think I probably woke up really late. I was like, oh, I can clear section 1 and section 2 at the same time. Perfect. And then I just have the boss to fight later on in the war. So next up here we have a stealth SpiderMan, which is a really good matchup for Magneto because he's metal and class advantage. So our heavy attacks are doing like 14,000 on every hit, which is pretty nice. Just go ahead, drop a special 1 here, get a couple of shrapnel bleeds going, and he's dying pretty quick. I just want to be careful of the of his evade, and yeah, he drops. Barely took damage. That was a really good fight. Next up we have an Iron Man Infinity War with Buffet and Lionheart. So we're gonna go ahead and use Magneto once again, just cleaning up all of these metal defenders. Man, I'm so happy with the way Magneto's buff turned out, man. He's finally what he should be, just a good counter to metal opponents. I mean, he could be even better, technically. Characters that, it's kind of weird. Cabana's rule is if a character gets the metal tag or not is if they can drop the metal that they have. So a character with swords, they don't have the metal tag because they can drop their swords. But you can't just drop your swords, in MCOC in a fight. You can't do that. So they should technically be able to manipulate that metal too, but that would just be probably too overpowered. But yeah, here we go for another special 2. Doesn't quite kill him. We're a little unlucky with the crits on our special 2s. If they would have crit, they would have killed Iron Man and Vision. Was it Vision we used the first one on? Yeah. And the next up here we have a Hyperion shared fight. Done this fight a couple times before. With flame on and without. It's got a lot of buffet and some strike counter stuff, so basically I'm not going to be able to really throw special attacks, which is fine, doesn't really matter. I just want to be careful of Hyperion's power gain. Don't want him to go to an L3. I'll survive it, worst case scenario, but I would rather not risk it. It's best to just bait out the special ones, because then you can get Smolder. On this fight, yeah, kind of push him to special 2 at the start. It's just kind of quicker to push him to special 2s, I kind of think. But if you were fighting like a Hyperion in Abyss or something, you know, with Human Torch, I've actually never even thought about doing that, but Torch could be a decent option. It'd be better to take special ones on the block. Here I accidentally push him to a special 3 though, and we're gonna see what happens. I think we should survive without too much hassle. Should be about 50%. Yeah, we're at 61. Still get some of that back with adrenaline. Probably get up to like 69. And yeah, he's almost dead anyways, so it's all good. You know, worst case scenario, we get hit by the L3, but we're okay. Worst case scenario happened, and we're fine. So that was all my initial path fights this war. And then I was also assigned, we finally had a Thing boss. Haven't seen a Thing boss in like over a season. Like in over 12 seasonal wars at this point. Something crazy like that. It's just been so long since I've seen a Thing boss. And I was like, alright, finally I get to do this fight again with Falcon. I had another boss fight with Falcon this season, the Mcoc, and it did not go that well. It was my first and only death so far at this point in the season. I'm not trying to imply that I die more, but I just, you know, I might die more in the season. You guys, who knows? Oh, I know, but try to keep it a secret. But yeah, so Thing, you know, we get locked on. He doesn't get rock sacks with Falcon, which is great. And if your Falcon is awakened, he actually gets additional critical rate while locked on, which really helps. It's extremely noticeable as well. People ask, you know, does Falcon need to be awakened? And he doesn't for his utility, but it really does help with the damage, and it's actually really nice. It's very noticeable. And mine's only a SIG 20. Like, I imagine a SIG 200 Falcon, wow, you'd be critting way more. I feel like my Falcon already crits a fair bit, so definitely something to keep in mind. I'm gonna go for the special 3 here though, so that we can apply a vulnerability debuff on him, which just basically makes my crits do more damage, and it also lowers his block proficiency. That and the incinerate lower it by, I believe, 100%, but it doesn't really matter. We don't really need to lower his block proficiency, you know, when we can just hit into him normally. Yeah, so getting a pretty good chunk of damage there. You see my mediums were doing like 11k with the vulnerability up. Let's see what they do while locked on without the vulnerability. Be interesting to compare how much damage that gives. But it's also just not a bad idea to go for special 2s. You know, special 2s hit really hard. Yeah, so about 9,000 damage without the vulnerability. So it's adding about 2,000 damage on a medium critical hit, which is pretty substantial, you know. That's some nice damage increase. But the special 2s is just like a really fat, big burst of damage. Probably the way to go. You know, sometimes I like to just go for the special 3 just to get an image for the thumbnail on these war videos. As long as it's not gonna like be too risky and make me die or something. But yeah, right there, I thought I was at a special 2. You can see my power is so close to that next bar. Like one blocked hit pushed me over that threshold. I miscalculated just ever so slightly. I ended up throwing an L1, which just kind of prolonged the fight. But then one more combo should do the trick here, and we got the special 2. If not, he drops. Took about half the time allotted to us on the fight. 100 hits. Very clean solo. Finished with a lot of HP. Felt really good about that. How many items did I use this for? Let's see, 0 items. So a perfect war, pretty much. Felt really good about that war, and I think we actually did end up winning. I looked back in our war history. Usually I grab a screenshot of the results of the war, and I scrolled all the way back. And this war is not even in our war history log, because that's how long it's been. This is like a month ago. So I took those screenshots of the next wars, so I can show you guys the deaths and who wins or loses. But I'm pretty sure we did win this war. I can't say for 100%, but I think we did. Not that it really even matters at this point. Like I already said, we did get masters for the season. Not top 3 or anything, but you know, as long as we get masters, it's all good. But yeah, that's going to do it for this war video. They're going to keep coming out slowly over the course of the off season. Give you guys some more content to watch. You know, if you're if you enjoy that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I think I am going to be taking a break for the next season of Alliance War, just because, it's going to be during summer. But then the season after that, we'll be going hard once again. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.